If you see the ancient god of Vietnamese, he's black. The ancient god of Hawaiians, he's black. The ancient god of the Indians, Vishnu, is black. The ancient god of Chinese, Buddha, is black. Are these Africans? No, European will tell you this is parallel development. And we sit around and accept this because he wants to develop his concept of white supremacy, and if he wasn't there first, then it didn't happen. You have pyramids in Egypt. You have pyramids in West Africa. And you have pyramids in Central America. You have those great big thick-lipped, big-nosed megaliths in the Ivory Coast. And you have them in the Olmec civilization here. But did they cross the ocean? No, because Columbus discovered America. So, if everything around the equatorial belt is black and black culture and tropical people, why? How can we possibly believe that they went all the way up through Siberia and then dispersed? What is the purpose of such a stupid interpretation of the dissemination of humanity? That is how deep white supremacy goes. In the oceanic belt of the equator, what do you see? Little black people here, little black people here, little black people here, little black people. But did they go that way? Because they want to say the European was the first person to cross the Atlantic Ocean, right? Now, how difficult is it to get across the Atlantic Ocean? Well, maybe they didn't just come through the Bering Strait. Maybe they went across the Indian Ocean, which is twice as wide as the Atlantic, or the Pacific, which is 3 times as wide as the Atlantic, rather than say Africans left the equator belt of Africa and went right across the Atlantic to Brazil. And there are no 25,000 or 30,000-year-old fossils in Canada. Rather than tell you they came across the ocean, how difficult is it to get across the Atlantic Ocean? But Europeans didn't know that Africans, ancient Egyptians, were wise enough to actually make all kinds of boats that could go across the ocean. They knew all this kind of technology. So what they did, to get back to the concept of epistemology, they tell you the migration only came through the Siberian Strait, and then people reverted into these phenotypes. These are assumptions we're accepting to keep the idea that there is only one way to get here. Now, here's the second thing. In Egypt, you have pyramids. The Nile was wet 7,000, 9,000 years BC. It was wet.
Message!
Peace, back with another installment of Food for Thought. In that clip, you just heard Dr. Charshee Mcintyre, and I completely apologize if I botched her name, dropping jewels. This is exactly, everything that she said, I totally agree with. I have nothing to add to it. Except for the fact that I have been telling people this for a very long time. Ever since I've been on a quest. I think I'm 46 now. When I was 13, I started to study and research and look into things. And I've come to the realization after reading numerous books and finding a lot of information, what she is saying is a fact. And this is the way that black people have been put into an inferior space. Okay? This is just my 2 cents added on. You can keep it, sell it, throw it away. It doesn't matter. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, peace.